Caption: These women were bootleggers. They secretly made whiskey and beer to sell. Caption: Women fought hard to gain the right to vote. Prohibition. During this time, the United States made it illegal to make or sell alcohol. This was called prohibition because the government prohibited or stopped people from making and selling alcohol. Wisconsin had lots of breweries that had to close down. This hurt business in Wisconsin. People who supported prohibition believed that the state and the country would be better off if liquor was not sold. When prohibition ended, most people in Wisconsin were happy. When news reached Milwaukee that beer would be legal again, people celebrated with parades and parties. They even sent some Milwaukee beer to President Franklin Roosevelt in Washington, D.C. Women gained the right to vote. Women have not always had the right to vote. At the beginning of the 20th century, many women in Wisconsin and the rest of the United States fought for women's suffrage. Women marched in the streets. They carried signs that said women should have the right to vote. They made speeches. Matilde Anneke, Laura Ross, and Olympia Brown worked for women's suffrage in Wisconsin. Anneke worked for a newspaper. Ross was a doctor, and Brown was a minister. Finally, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was passed. It gave women the right to vote. Caption: People did what they could to survive. Slums like this one in Milwaukee were common in the cities. Caption: Many families were very poor during the Depression. 11 members of the Bettinger family lived in this small cabin. Depression cycle. Factories lay off workers. People lose their jobs. People cannot buy things. Stores go out of business. Stores do not order from factories. Factories do not get orders. The Great Depression. A depression is a time when many people are out of work. They don't make enough money to take care of their families. People want to work, but they can't find jobs. The Depression of the 1930s was the worst depression the United States has ever known. That is why it is called the Great Depression. Factories in Milwaukee, Green Bay, Racine, and Kenosha shut down. More than half of the workers in Wisconsin lost their jobs. Many farmers in Wisconsin lost all of their money. Prices were so low for crops and dairy products that farmers were not making any money. Farmers across the country were also suffering from a serious drought. There was not enough water for crops. Governor Philip LaFollette did what he could to make things easier for people in Wisconsin. He hired men to improve old roads and build new ones. He set up a program that gave money to people who had lost their jobs. He helped farmers pay their bills. How people survived. Many families lost their homes. Some people moved in with relatives. Some people lived under bridges or made shelters out of scrap wood or metal. People tried to help each other as much as they could.